Oh, it's Monday. Happy Monday. The weekend is over. The work week has began. And here we are. You and I looking for entertainment. And I think we found it. So you don't want to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
Yes, yes. In closing, I will leave you with a quote from Pompeii, 79 AD. Hack! The floor is lava!
Happy Monday. That's right. Work week is here, and we're going to run at it straight away, get it out of the way. Yes, we are. On our journey for the weekend, which is a long way away at the moment. How was everybody? How was everybody's weekend? Was it good? Did you have a lot of fun? Did you relax? Enjoy yourself? Prepare yourself for the week ahead. All right, so like and subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate it. We're going to talk about a movie today, a good one. In the description box down below are all our links, our website, and things we use and enjoy every single day here, and some promo codes to save you some of your hard-earned money. So you don't want to miss that, do you? Like coffee, brand coffee, or Blackout coffee? They don't pay us. Just great coffee. All right. So if you remember last week, because I know you are all returning, we talked about the movie Mayhem. Mayhem, I don't have it sitting next to me. Oh, no, I do. Mayhem, remember we talked about this movie? Well, that's good, because today's movie is related to that movie, sort of. All right, let's look at it. Oh, it's been a minute. All right, Everly, 2014, rated R, hour and 32 minutes. A kidnapped woman faces down hitmen sent by a mob boss / her captor while trying to protect her family from his wrath. Okay, horrible synopsis, but kind of gets the gist of it. Written by Yale Hannon and Joe Lynch. Directed by Joe Lynch, which is how it relates to Mayhem. Same director and writer. Starring Salma Hayek, Hiroyuki Watanabe, Laura Cepeda. It has a 5.1 out of 10. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right. So after watching Mayhem, I watched the commentary, or I listened to the commentary, and they kept talking about this movie Everly, because it was Everly. It was filmed in the same country as what Mayhem was, and the experience they had was evidently very good. So I was interested. I was like, "What is this Everly they keep talking? I've never heard of it." So I looked it up, and I found it on streaming, and I watched it. And I gotta tell you, it's better than Mayhem. Quality wise, it's good quality. I mean, the story writing, it makes sense in the world they've created. I'm going to get it out of the way right away. For some people, you're not going to like this. It shows some nudity, some a bare buttocks, and a bit of chesticle. Right off the bat, right at the end, right as it begins. And it deals with some adult issues. But not only that, basically it's all blood and guts, and it's pretty gross, and quite a bit of it. But we're going to get into it. Here's what happened. What had happened was, so in the world, this story is in a very small box because they build the world right off the bat and show you, basically give you the parameters of what's going on. Salma Hayek plays a woman who was kidnapped, basically to be turned into a sex slave. And the boss, the mob boss that, had these people kidnapped, he was like, I like this one. I think I'll keep her and use her for my own benefit. Yes, as a sex slave. So he has a building and he puts these women in their own apartment in this building, but then it's guarded. They can't leave. Their groceries and stuff are delivered. Everything's like, if they need something, it's brought to them. They are not allowed to leave, and they are just used as slaves for people to abuse, if you will. So that's the box that they put this in, and this entire movie takes place in that box, basically in her apartment. Which may be why it looks so much better. Like there's not a lot of scenes or like different places to be, because it all takes place in this building, in this room, for the most part. Now, she has basically turned her back on the boss and has taken some money from him and is knocking him out to the police. I'm not going to tell you how that comes about, but obviously they find out. All right. Now, in the meantime, you find out as the story progresses and the world builds that she has a small daughter, and that her daughter is with her mom. And when she was taken, as far as her mom is concerned and daughter's concerned, she just dipped out on them, right? They're unaware that she was kidnapped and whatnot. But anyway, as the story progresses and she's trying to survive, because the mob boss is now, he's like, I'm going to kill you. You're going to die tonight. I'm going to send people to kill you. And that's what the story is about. It's a story of survival. She's trying to survive all these assassins and bad guys that come to kill her in this one night. In the meantime, she's able to get a hold of her mother and her and get them to show up, because she's trying to give them this money that she has stolen, so they can disappear, so that they will be safe. She doesn't care if she dies, and she's pretty much accepted that she's going to die, but she wants to keep them safe. And that's the point of the story. That's the goal of the story, is surviving and making sure her mom and daughter get away. Now, this movie has huge stakes, obviously. I'm not talking about the kind you get from the butcher. This movie is graphic, extremely graphic. Think John Wick, but it's got some humor in it, unintentional, although it may be. And it's an entertaining watch. It has language, as I said earlier. It's got a little bit of nudity, nothing extremely graphic. Yeah, you see her getting dressed at the beginning after she's been beaten up a little bit, and she's nude. It's an overhead shot, so there's not a whole lot you see, but you do see her bottom. I use her in quotations because they don't show her face, so it's probably a stunt double. But whatever. It's a well constructed, well written story in a small box. Like if you opened this world up and it took place in more areas and there was a lot more complexity to it, it probably wouldn't work. But because it takes place in this small world that they've built and everybody's coming to her, and she's not having to go search anything and find anybody, hunt anybody down. They are all coming to her room, or to her apartment, to the building she's in, and she's trying to escape / survive. Period. That's it. And this movie's fantastic. It gives you exactly what it says it's going to. The story is completely believable in the world they've put it in. So I don't know why it's got a low rating. Probably because most people have never heard of it. I had never heard of it, but I had a good time. The ending is so-so, but the journey to get there, I was on the edge of my seat. I'm not gonna lie. You honestly don't know at any point in this movie who's going to survive and who's not. And that's what makes it such a good movie. There's no guarantees for anybody involved. And they play it perfectly. They weren't like Salma Hayek does a fine job as this, slave, if you will, kidnapped woman. Um, is it like super great? No, probably not. But when I got done watching it, Nerdy Wife was like, "Did you like it?" And I was like, "Yeah." I mean, she wasn't watching it, but I was watching it. And when it was over, she was like, "Hey, what'd you think?" And I was like, I rather enjoyed this movie, like, because it is what it is. I wasn't looking for complexity. I was looking for survival and a bunch of violence, and that's what I got. A ballet of violence with side of survival. So if that's your jam, this movie's for you. It's not for kids for sure. It's got some pretty graphic killings in it. Also some humorous killings in it. It just is what it is. I think they did a good job writing. This is basically a small structured story in a box in a square where it works perfectly. If it was any bigger, it would not. But it is exactly what you want it to be. I will say this, in the trailer, they kind of lean into the, hey, why are you so good with weapons when you're just a sex slave? Well, my dad wanted a girl or wanted a boy, right? That whole trope, but that's not in the movie. So they were leaning into it for a minute, but it's not even like that. This girl picks up whatever weapons she can find and uses them, right? It's survival instinct. I think it was fine. There was not a whole lot of messaging. This was just a fun, entertaining action romp. Die Hard, maybe, in an apartment. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I got a lot of stuff to do this week. I'm ready to go. Ready to get it done. All right, for Michael, the microphone, Bob, squeaky chair in the back, and this big fat nerd, we will see you on Wednesday.